Good afternoon, freedom fighters. It is 1:15 p.m. East Coast time, September 22nd, 2024. I believe they may have the microwave energy turned up a little bit too much over here by Kentucky and Tennessee. Looks like mostly Kentucky, but it's happening all over. Very unusual weather systems this year. They have everything in place. 2024, get ready for the war. You're under microwave energy attacks at this moment, with most likely chemtrails involved as well. Let's look at a little more detailed analysis here. Stand by. Truly incredible frequencies coming off of these devices today. Look at the machine waves coming off of it. God help us all. Everybody be safe in these storms. These are not natural. You can see how this machine's affecting this stuff over Kentucky. We are under attack, and your weatherman is lying to you. In my opinion, they should be all arrested for treason against the American people. Very unusual microwave energy coming out of these radar systems, controlling the rain. I had started a biological weapon video about the United States, and I forgot to turn myself off mute. But I wanted to show you small pieces of what I was trying to show in that video on this one. How simple chemicals can induce fear to the people. While they are poisoning our waters and our lands, they are controlling our skies with frequencies and spraying chemicals that can be very toxic in many, many ways. As a commercial fisherman, they cannot hide the truth from me because it's not anything I've seen before. Weather is my life. We are all going to pay dearly for not paying attention. I wish I could see all that I tried to present a while ago, but I got to redo it. I don't have time, but look at the short clips of biological weapons used on animals. That's incredible what I'm watching here. Bigger version of that same operation. Very powerful microwave energy controlling the weather. Stand by for biological weapon. Okay, guys, I was trying to explain the Mad Hatter's disease, where it was this mercury poisoning caused it, and it is very much available still. This is a cat that has been poisoned by this material. I'm going to let it play out. It's about 15 minutes long. It's what I tried to present to you earlier, but I messed up on the audio, the first bit of it. But I hope y'all stay and watch this important information from the U.S. government, how they control people's minds with biological weapons. Stand by. I'll bump it up to where I started. It's insane to me how they induce fear to this cat. Commercial fisherman standing by. Y'all enjoy the film.
Laboratory, I saw a striking experiment of the effects of a certain harmless chemical compound. A cat's reaction to the presence of a mouse was just about what you'd expect at first. A typical hunter's instinct. A harmless chemical agent was introduced. The cat's behavior became temporarily frightened, defensive, contrary to his normal behavior.
In today's big picture, you saw volunteers, military, as well as our now famous cat, Speedy, participating in the Chemical Corps' testing program. At no time were they in danger of suffering any permanent injury, nor did they. if our cat's recent family addition is any proof.
That's very interesting, right? Simple chemicals can induce fear. Here's from 1952, what you should know about biological weapons. It describes the different types of biological weapons and stuff. You should really see some of this. It's 7 minutes long. I'm not playing all of it, just the best part of it. But it's from the U.S. military. Stand by. Thank you to the warriors still watching.
A headache. You're wrong. You had better find out the facts about
back a little bit.
You're wrong.
What do they expect me to do? Biological warfare? What do they expect me to do about it? It's not my headache.
You're wrong. You had better find out the facts about biological warfare, or BW. It can be aimed at you in your home, or at work, at your food crops, your livestock. Biological weapons can be divided into 3 groups: germs, toxins, and plant growth regulators. Some germs cause cholera, others cause typhoid fever, plague, and such diseases. Toxins are special poisons produced by other germs. They do the harm in diseases like food poisoning and diphtheria. Special plant growth regulators can destroy food crops, just as weed killer can destroy weeds. The public health nurse and the many other members of our public health system have been fighting nature's biological attacks for years. We have proved that our health and medical systems check the spread of infectious diseases. Our livestock and crops are guarded by a nationwide network of federal, state, and local agencies and experts. Government regulations assure the purity of many food products. But BW attacks can be made in spite of our health safety systems. Aerosols containing disease germs could be used. These aerosols could be spread over large areas. Submarines could release aerosols near coastal cities. Specially designed germ-carrying bombs could be dropped. Enemy agents could contaminate the city water supply. How can we protect ourselves from BW attacks? Keep yourself and your family clean. Don't help germs by making things easy for them. Germs have trouble living in clean places. Enroll in a Red Cross home nursing course. Then if sickness does come to you, you'll know what to do. Always report sickness promptly.
And doctor, Mary's temperature is over 100.
Good morning. Here's the news. Civil Defense Headquarters announced today that the sharp increase in the number of cases of illness during the last few days have led authorities to suspect that a biological warfare attack may have taken place. As yet, the cause of this outbreak has not been identified. Civil Defense Health Authorities recommend that you should take the following precautions.
If such an announcement is made in your city, don't give way to fear. Just remember that scientists would already be working to control the outbreak. Probably some of the people in your neighborhood would become sick. Reports of the disease would start pouring into health and medical authorities. The number and location of cases would be plotted on a map of the area. Scientists would go to work immediately to identify the cause of the disease. Meanwhile, the outbreak would take on a definite pattern. There are important things you can do in your home if you are told a biological warfare attack has taken place. Be careful what you eat and drink. Canned and bottled goods are safe, but scrub them before opening.
What truly amazes me how they were presenting these people as trying to do good for our health when we know the truth now. It's never been about saving anybody as much as it has been about control. I'm going to let the rest of the video play out. I was talking in this part of it, so you're going to maybe even hear me repeat what I just said, but these people are not our friends. They are the term of mad scientists. Standing by.
I am a prime.
Sorry about that, Warriors. I kind of got distracted with a conversation here on the side. But that's some really good information. Funny to me how they're portraying our scientists as good people when they are the ones that are creating these biological weapons at this fort here. This fort is claimed to be a cancer research facility, but as the Army used to tell us the truth before they killed Kennedy, this is a biological research facility, nothing to do with cancers, but they may be creating cancers. But I hope y'all stay tuned and finish this film as well.
From Edgewood in historic Frederick, Maryland, are the biological warfare laboratories. Here, men and women of science are doing basically the same type of work as in other government, university, and industrial laboratories. A combination of medical and public health research. While I was at Fort Detrick, I was able to follow partway through an experiment to determine the effectiveness of an agent. Volunteers are important to the testing picture. For many years, information has been needed on the effect of a biological warfare attack on man, so that we can have a better understanding of how to defend ourselves against it. The volunteers were a picked group. They had received psychiatric interviews to determine their maturity and reliability, as well as mental outlook. Medical histories and laboratory checks on the volunteers had been extremely stringent. Any history of a chronic disease, any allergic reaction or nervous disorder was a cause for rejection. Volunteers were given the opportunity to drop out at any time. I was to watch the progress of the experiment from the control room. The volunteers had been positioned in cubicles on the outside of the test sphere, a hollow steel ball 40 feet in diameter, in which a cloud of biological warfare agent can be generated. Through a series of controllable valves and a face mask, it was possible to expose a person in each cubicle to a measured volume of biological aerosol from the sphere. I said before I was able to follow part way through the experiment, the final part. As was expected, the volunteers were temporarily incapacitated, but within a short time they were up and around, completely recovered. They had the satisfaction of having played an important part in obtaining information, which would immediately be given to the Public Health Service to bolster our defenses against disease. Research has led to many scientific findings beneficial to mankind, such as a perfected vaccine for controlling industrial anthrax, a usually fatal disease of cattle and sheep. Still another accomplishment, protective devices for the safe handling of disease-causing microorganisms and their harmful products. Just a few of the many byproducts of biological warfare research.
Something right there that really scares me, guys. Hypodermic needle and eggs, and I guarantee you would never notice it. It wouldn't leak out. They never mentioned the eggs. And boy, do I love eggs. Very healthy for you if you eat them with the yolk. Stand by for one more film here. I want to finish out this facility and what they're doing today. Now, I tried to find the original of this. I don't know if it's been removed, but I could only imagine they don't like this information going out. So stand by for the U.S. government spraying the United States with biological weapons.
At the U.S. Army Chemical Corps Proving Ground, tests were conducted using an F-100 aircraft equipped with an experimental spray device developed by one of the large aviation companies. One purpose of these tests was to establish the feasibility of producing BW aerosols in the most effective particle size range as a low-level line source from high-speed aircraft. Wind tunnel tests had shown that effective aerosols could be produced by discharging the BW agent into a high-velocity airstream. To confirm the wind tunnel test data, an aerial mission was conducted using a BW incapacitating agent. Flying at subsonic speed, the F-100 disseminated the liquid agent along a 15-mile line upwind of the test grid. Data from these tests were used to determine the effective coverage that could be expected with an operational type spray system employing the basic principles of the experimental device. This study showed that one fighter aircraft flying on the deck and dispensing 2 wing tanks of a liquid BW agent would cause infection in more than 50% of the populace in an area 125 miles long by 30 miles deep. 3 large aircraft could release sufficient agent to infect over 50% of the people in an area equivalent to a belt 140 miles wide, extending from New York to Chicago, comparable to the total area of Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Indiana.
When the COVID-19 began sweeping across the U.S., New York City quickly became epicenter of the outbreak.
We are dying. I feel like a sheep going to slaughter.
Some 240 miles away, in a quiet town in Maryland, is Fort Detrick, where the U.S. government conducts experiments on dangerous pathogens, including close siblings of the novel coronavirus. As a military research base studying infectious diseases, its history has been enshrouded in much secrecy. In 1942, it became the birthplace of America's secret biowarfare research facility. Bacteria studied in the biological warfare labs at Fort Detrick included anthrax, a deadly and highly infectious agent. During World War II, the US government ordered 1 million anthrax bombs from the base. When the Cold War began, the CIA used the base to conduct secret mind control experiments on humans that often involved unwitting American citizens and Soviet prisoners. Shielded behind national security, military scientists freely tested cruel and illegal procedures on human subjects while searching for truth serum, as well as other drugs used in assassinating foreign leaders. In the end, the project ended in abysmal failure and it was shut down by the US government in the 1970s.
Alright, that was the U.S. military admitting they were learning how to spray pathogens over cities. Now, doesn't this look more like the spraying they were just talking about? But it's not 2 aircraft. It's hundreds of aircraft spraying us at the same time. And I can only imagine what they're spraying. Slow poisoning of our people, and they'll blame it on disease X. Commercial fishermen standing by. We need help.
Yes, we need help. That was a bad spray day right there. Well, Warriors, I'm going to leave you with that. Don't let them take your guns away. That's for sure. I know it. Oh, yeah, a little history, a little gun history. 50-something million people lost their lives after they gave up their gun rights. Commercial fishermen standing by. We must unite and fight these tyrannies that is destroying our people and our lands. Commercial fishermen out.